One of the best compliments I've ever gotten from women that I've dated time and time again has been, "Oh my God, Harry, you're so good in bed that you're ruining my toys for me." Hi there. Men's dating coach Harry Wilmington here from introvertdatingsuccess.com. And on today, I want to teach you 5 simple steps to being able to beat her toys in the bedroom. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon to be notified when we post up new daily videos. Also, be sure to go to the website to download my free ebook, Texting Like a Boss, as well as hitting on the tip jar tab to show your support, the link of which you can find at the website as well as in the description below. So I want to talk about this today for you guys because I know there are you guys out there that have women that you're dating. And when you go to her bedroom, you see that little nightstand there. You might peek, look into the drawer, and you see that she has toys to help get her off. And part of you might be thinking like, but we have such a good sex life, and I thought that I was doing everything right. Why does she have these toys? Well, not to worry. You're going to learn how you can actually be better than the toys, so that way you too will have women saying to you things like, "Oh my God, like every time you're not here, like I think about you to where I can't even use my toys, or when I do, it's still not as good as when you're here." And those are things you can actually hear because those are things that I've legitimately heard from women that I've dated because I've done these 5 steps. So let's go ahead and get into it. So step number 1, very, very important, is do not be intimidated by her toys, okay? Just because she has toys in the drawer that are meant to allow her to self-stimulate and please herself does not necessarily mean that she does not like what you are doing in the bedroom. The reality is, if you are not there, then she might still have a need to be able to get off, just like at times you do as well. And when you're at home, you might be trying to like have some action with yourself and pop a movie in, but that movie does not necessarily make the movie better than the girl that you're with, right? So the same thing with women. Just because they have toys that they use to get themselves off when you're not there does not mean that you are bad. Now, if she has toys that she uses while you are there, that also does not mean that you are doing necessarily a bad job. The reality is there might be times where you do everything you can in the bed, and then when you get to the end, she might still need a little help getting there, and she might pull out a toy. Now, that's not the worst thing in the world, but it should also let you know that it means that you could be doing a few more things to get her to that conclusion. Okay, and we're going to teach you what those things are. But the first thing is, do not be intimidated. If anything, the toy is going to actually be your ally in your quest to end up beating the toy. The second thing is you want to actually watch her use the toy for a few reasons. You want to see the length of time that she typically uses the toy, and then you also kind of want to see what its moves and stuff are. And what I have found is that could actually be a very intimate thing if you are not intimidated by it, and if you are not, trying to insult her or throw a pity party for yourself that she's using toys versus being with you, you can actually like get a lot of knowledge out of seeing her use the toy. So when you're with your woman, in fact, before you even start doing anything, the next time you're with your woman and she has toys, go to her and say, "Hey, so like I know you have some toys in the drawer there. I would like to see how you use them." It can be a very erotic thing and something that actually turns her on even more. Okay, so but you want to make sure that you're studying how she's using it. And I'll get into that in number 3. But yeah, you want to make sure that you are able to like see her use it. You want to see for how long it takes her by herself to be able to get herself off. That way you'll have a kind of a time gauge of, okay, you might be a person, for example, that might end up finishing a little earlier than she's normally used to. And that's okay. That's something that you need to know so you can work on it. But if you're able to see her work with these toys and actually see how long it takes her to get off, then you'll have a good gauge of like, okay, so she's like a 3 to 10 minute person. It takes her this long when she's doing it herself. You can see how she likes to build up the momentum. If she's a person that likes to get in there and do it right away and she's done it like 2 minutes, or if she's the person that kind of like sets the mood, has candles out. If she's the one that like, she has the settings starting off a certain way and then it kind of builds up over time to where it's a lengthy process. But either way, you'll get to really kind of study how she herself gets herself off. And that's very good knowledge for you to have in your quest to try to beat this toy. So that's the second thing. The third thing is you want to study the various functions of the toy and also the movements of both the toy and how she uses it, okay? Now, she might be one of those people that just has like a standard toy that doesn't have any kind of battery operation to it or vibration. It's just, it goes in and out and that's all it does. And that's fine. If she just has a regular toy like that, then you want to see again, how she's using it. You want to see what her motion is. If she starts off slow and then starts to get faster, what kind of particular angle that she uses the toy at, because this is going to let you know what's making her vagina feel those sensations that are going to really arouse her to the point where she has an orgasm. Okay. So if she has a regular toy. Now she has like an electronic toy, and a lot of the toys that they use these days will be electronic toys that have a vibration to them. Some stuff like the rabbits or other things have these little tongs at the top that's kind of like meant to do extra vibrations on her lips and her clitoris and stuff like that. But the point is that these things, you want to study how they operate. So with the vibrating toy, a lot of them, they'll start off where they have like a few functions. It might be anywhere between like 3 to 7 or 8 different speeds. So you might press the button the first time when you turn it on, and it's kind of vibrating at a slow speed. And then you press it again, it starts driving up and getting a little bit more shaky. And then you hit that third one, and it gets even shakier. And then you have some where you press it, and it'll kind of go like, it'll like shake, stop, shake, stop, shake, stop, shake, stop. But the point is, these things that these toys are doing, you want to take note of, because that's going to move into step number 5, which I'll get to after 4. But make sure you really study the motions of it. Make sure, again, you're studying both the vibrations of it and also how she's using it. As it's vibrating, is she going in and out? Is she rubbing it specifically against her clitoris? Is she like rubbing it against her lips? What is she doing with it? But really take notice of that and just kind of sit back and be like, okay, like you can take a look. You can really like just go down there and just look at what she's doing with it while she's doing her thing. Okay. And again, she'll be turned on by all this because she's like, oh, this guy's watching me as I do my thing. And it'll her to start to feel like she's actually incorporating you into her doing her solo thing, which also helps for when you're not there, because then she'll be thinking about the fact that you were looking at her when she's doing it, which will get off even more on account of she saw you looking at her. And then that puts you and her brain as she's getting herself off when you're not there. It's great. It's a great tactic. So that's number 3. So then number 4 is you want to incorporate this toy into your love making, okay? Because now we're going to transition from her using the toy by herself to you being the one to help with this operation, okay? So that might mean if she has a toy that has no vibration, for example, you taking it and you're kind of pushing it in and out, and then you also might be doing that while you're attempting to do your own things down there. So you could be pushing the toy in and out of her while you're, fingering certain parts of her down there or licking down there or whatever, but now she's getting to feel that stimulation of the toy and you at the same time. If it's a toy that has vibration, even better, because now you get to kind of, after studying her movements, you can kind of start to move your hand in the same way in terms of like, okay, so I'm gonna take this toy. She had it at this angle, so I'm gonna move it at this angle. She had it on this vibration level or speed, so I'm gonna try to do the same thing and rub it around her lips, rub it around her clit, like rub it around these various parts. But either way, you are now the one in control. So it goes from her operating it to you operating it. And the bonus of you operating it is now she doesn't quite know what to expect. And unexpected movements are things that women typically find very exciting, especially in the bedroom, because a lot of women complain about the fact that their guy, after a few years, does the same moves. He's predictable. He's boring. I know where he's going to go next. But with you taking control of this toy, she has no idea. So that leaves a level of excitement for her now that, oh, he's going to use my toy, but I don't know how he's going to use it, where he's going to move it to, how he's going to do certain things. And now that makes both the toy and you a very exciting thought for her in her head, okay? So don't have the toy be the enemy. Have the toy be an ally that you can use to help get her off. And there's a wide variety of toys. There's the dildo stuff, and there's, the vibrator things, and there's also like the rings you can get that vibrate, you put on yourself, and then that's still technically a toy, but it's vibrating and you're going in and out of her while she's feeling that toy rub against her. And that can also be a very, very exciting thing, okay? So that's number 4. And then number 5 is what very, very important is you become the toy in real life. What do I mean by that? Well, obviously you're not going to turn into a toy, but if you've studied the movements of this toy, then you can basically understand the levels of and speeds of which she likes to get off, and you can do those same things. So perfect example, let's say she has a vibrating toy. You notice that, okay, she starts off at a slow speed and she rubs it against her clit, and then as she gets more aroused, she starts getting it at a higher speed. Okay, great. So now you remove the toy, and now your tongue becomes that toy. So now when you're down there doing your thing, assuming you like to do that kind of thing, because ideally you do, but if you're down there doing your thing, then okay, so, the toy was vibrating at this speed when she started, so I know to move my tongue at this speed. And I know to not just start off fast, but to start slow, do a few slow licks, and then like get faster and faster. And then sometimes I can go a little bit, stop, go a little bit, stop. So you are basically copying the moves of the vibrator, whereas the vibrator moved a little bit, stop, moved a little bit, stopped. You are now becoming that same thing with your tongue and your lips and everything you're doing down there, okay? In terms of like the angle that she was going at, now you know when you're going inside of her with your stuff down there that you can go in at a certain angle, or you can use your fingers to go into that certain angle, and she's going to really feel the strength of that because, again, you studied her doing this with her toy. So basically, these toys are going to help you, if you study her correctly and don't get intimidated, it's going to help you figure out the angles at which, the speed at which, the pressure at which she likes stuff being done down there. And then when you take away the toy, you just remember in your head, okay, what was the toy doing? How was she moving the toy? How was she handling the toy? What speed, et cetera, et cetera. And when you do those same things, now you're going to seem like a sex dynamite because you're going to make her explode and erupt, and she's going to be thinking, he just, like, my toy, he just did what my toy did, and it's going to feel better because, with toys, not that I'm saying that she'll ever completely replace get rid of the toys, because realistically, again, when you are not there, she might need that stuff to get up. What you'll find is you'll start hearing things like her saying, like, even when I use my toys, it's just ruined because I just keep picturing that it's you down there and I'd rather have you down there. But it's because you're taking her fantasy of the toy and bringing that to life, and your tongue is like real flesh. Your tongue actually has a warmth to it. Your lips have a warmth. Your mouth has a warmth to it that those toys don't have. So you doing the things that are imitating the toy, along with the added benefit of your warmth and your breath and your ability to like be able to stop and tease a little bit and then come back in, that's going to make it a more exciting venture for her than the toy. But again, all this stems from you not having to have to be so stuck in your ego about, well, I got to be the best thing, and if this toy is here, then it must mean she doesn't like me. No, it just means that she knows how to best get herself off, and if you're a new guy in the situation, you might not know yet, and that's fine. But when you do get the chance to connect with her and hook up with her after a few rounds, be like, hey, be that guy that's going to be the first one to say, hey, you know what? I want to see how you get yourself off with these toys. Because once you do that, and you allow her to be her complete open self and really show you what she really desires in the bedroom, she's going to feel closer and more connected to you. And that's going to already add an extra sense of her ability to get off just with you, because she knows that you really care about her and that you don't have an ego about this whole bedroom thing. But add that to being able to actually imitate what's happening with her toys, and I can guarantee you no woman's going to want to let you go. Now that you've heard from me, I'd like to hear from you. Are you intimidated by a woman and her sex toys? If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment below in the description or write to me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com. Are you ready to learn killer icebreakers that attract women on dating apps? Go to introvertdatingsuccess.com right now to check out my free video training, How to Get Attractive, Feminine, Emotionally Stable Women Dying to Respond to Your First Messages on Dating Apps Without Using Sleazy Pickup Lines, which will give you the key secrets to sparking attraction and conversations with women online the smart way. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment on this episode, and be sure to catch new episodes 7 days a week right here on YouTube or wherever podcasts can be found. In the meantime, check out some of our other awesome episodes on this page, which will help you learn how to date as your authentic introverted self while still getting your precious alone time. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.